to my Week 10 NFL predictions with my mid-season NFL awards. And this is something different that I'm going to be doing, like the mid-season awards. Like, I haven't done anything except, like, picks and recaps and whatnot. But I'm going to give you guys who I think will win MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, Coach of the Year, and Comeback Player of the Year. But I'm going to do that after I make all these picks, starting with what should be a fantastic Thursday night game because the NFL knows how to make great Thursday night games. And it's going to be the Falcons and the Panthers. On this one, I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons. They just look like a more complete team than the Carolina Panthers. I think they'll be able to move the ball a little bit more efficiently than the Panthers. And I think the last time I picked the Panthers, they let me down. So I'm going to pick the Atlanta Falcons to go win at home. I'm sorry, on the road. Sorry, my bad. I swear to God, I feel like we just saw these two teams play not that long ago, which, I mean, they didn't, but dude, it doesn't feel like that long ago. It was like, this is the second time they're playing in 3 weeks. This is insane. Anyways, then we're going to go to another game that features an NFC South team. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, technically the home team in Munich, Germany, taking on the Seattle Seahawks. And I actually went with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because I feel like the Seahawks are probably going to lose somewhere. And I just can't envision the Seahawks winning the division this year. Don't get me wrong, I think Seattle can make the playoffs. They'll probably make it with how they're doing this year. And with how the Rams are doing. And some other teams like the Packers. I honestly couldn't see the Seahawks missing the playoffs. But I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to get the better Seattle. Defensively, they're going to be able to slow down the offense, and I think offensively they'll do just enough to win. And then next up, we have the Detroit Lions taking on the Chicago Bears in an NFC North battle. Despite the fact that the Lions actually were able to beat the Packers, no offense to the Chicago Bears, I'm taking the Bears. Offensively, they should be able to dismantle the Lions. The Bears' offense looks a lot more competent than Green Bay at this point. Defensively, I don't think Chicago looks very great defensively. I mean, considering they traded away Roquan Smith and Robert Quinn, I don't expect them to look great. But I think they can make at least a couple stops to slow down the Lions, who aren't exactly the greatest offense right now either. So I'm going to take the Chicago Bears to win this game. And then we'll go to what I think are the other 10 o'clock matchups, or 125 matchups, starting with the Texans and the Giants. And I'm taking the New York Giants here just because I like Saquon Barkley and Brian Daboll, who we'll talk about in a little bit. But the New York Giants, under Brian Daboll, have just been nothing but electrifying. And honestly, I can't see the Texans going into New York and beating the Giants. I feel like this is a trap game because the Texans are probably going to get 1 or 2 more wins, and I feel like it could potentially come from the Giants. And I know there are people still speculating that the Giants aren't a real team. There are some, but I think they are like a legitimate team right now, thanks to Brian Daboll and Saquon Barkley. So I think they should be able to breeze by the Texans, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like this is a trap game for the Giants. I don't know why. Next up, we have the Saints taking on the Steelers. And I actually went with the Saints in this one, despite TJ Watt. I guess he's supposed to be coming back this week. I don't know like the full details, but I guess he's coming back this week. But I think the Saints defense is going to be able to hold off Pittsburgh. I don't think it's going to be enough for Pittsburgh to come back, with TJ Watt. I think the Saints are a little bit more sound offensively with Andy Dalton, who's a competent veteran, or somewhat competent veteran. I mean, he didn't look great against Baltimore. But I mean, Baltimore has a good offense, and that's kind of why they won their game. And the Steelers, they don't have that offense. So I'm going to take the New Orleans Saints this one. Then you got the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Buffalo Bills. And if Josh Allen is there, this should be the game of the week. I'm still going to rock with the Buffalo Bills if Josh Allen plays. I got him on the back of my shirt right here. My boy. I don't know if y'all saw that or not, but no, Josh Allen definitely is one of, if not the biggest piece to this team. And if I find out that he's not playing on Sunday, I will most likely switch my pick to the Minnesota Vikings. Right now, it's just a UCL sprain. He didn't tear it or break it or anything like that. He had an injury very similar to that in his rookie season, but supposedly it's nothing to worry about right now. They're saying, like, we'll see if Josh Allen plays. But yeah, man, outside of being a great player, like, he is a really great person, and I really hope that the injury just doesn't affect him for a long time. I think despite Case Keenum being a good backup and the Bills having one of the better defenses in the league, I think injuries could potentially come back to hurt Buffalo this week, and I wouldn't be surprised to see the Vikings win this game, but I'm still going to rock with the Bills every single week, or at least almost every single week. And then this is the Sunday night game, so we'll get to that a little later. But now we get the Broncos at the Titans. Despite the fact that the Broncos look somewhat competent against the Jaguars, this is the Titans that are much better. Defensively, this is a much better team, and I think this is probably going to be a low-scoring game, but I think Derrick Henry is going to be able to wear down the Broncos, and the Titans are going to win this game. Next up, we have the Jaguars and the Chiefs. This really shouldn't be close. Kansas City's going to blow them out of the water. I don't really got to explain very much on that. It's an Arrowhead, and the Chiefs are one of the best teams in the league right now. Speaking of one of the best teams in the league right now, we got the Miami Dolphins, who should steamroll the Cleveland Browns. Despite the fact that the Dolphins' defense looks absolutely horrendous, despite acquiring Bradley Chubb, they got carved alive by Justin Fields in the rushing attack. And I feel like while Nick Chubb might have a great game for the Browns, it's not going to be enough to take down the Dolphins and their high-powered offense. Some people have said it, and I'm going to say it too. All the Dolphins need is just one takeaway, whether that's a fumble or an interception, and the game is going to go into Miami's hands. I think at home, it's going to be very difficult for the Browns to win. I think even if they do wear down the Dolphins with their rushing attack, I think the Dolphins offense is just going to come back and fire on all cylinders. Then we have, I don't know if this is the 125 or the 105, but we have the Colts and the Raiders, and I'm still going to rock with the Raiders. I know I've picked them for almost every single game, but I think they can be able to take down the Colts. The Colts do not look competent. Both these teams just look absolutely incompetent with Josh McDaniels, and now I guess they hired ESPN intern Jeff Saturday as their head coach. I don't really get that, but whatever. You put Frank Reich in a bad spot. I mean, what do you want him to do? It's not like he's Mike Tomlin or anything, but like, I'm still going to rock with the Raiders. I think Derek Carr and Devontae Adams will be able to get on the same page, and I think they're going to be able to take down the Indianapolis Colts, who just do not look good at this moment in time. It's at home, and the Raiders can win there as well, so I'm going to take the Raiders for that reason. Then you got the Cardinals taking on the Rams, and I'm going to go with the Rams. They need this game so bad. Kyler Murray is 0-2 in games after the new Call of Duty has come out, so I think that's a big reason why I'm picking the Rams. The Rams' defense looks good. They should be able to slow down. In all seriousness, though, I think the Rams should be able to slow down the Cardinals' offense with their defense, and I think the Rams' offense is somewhat competent enough to take on the Cardinals' defense, who, despite having one of the best safeties in the league in Budda Baker, outside of that, the rest of this defense just looks horrendous. Then you got the Dallas Cowboys on the Green Bay Packers, and I think the Packers are just going to get clapped by Dallas, all right? The Dallas Cowboys are going to unleash some inner demons from the 2014-2015 season, the infamous 4th and 1, catch that was ruled an incompletion that Dez Bryant was the recipient of. I'm going with the Cowboys because I think the offense can get by Green Bay's defense, and I don't like Green Bay's offense to go up against Micah Parsons and the Dallas defense. Then we go to the Sunday night game where we got the Chargers at the 49ers, and unfortunately for the Chargers, I think this is just going to be a beatdown, honestly. I think if the Niners defense is healthy, they should be good to go, but the Chargers, they just can't stay healthy themselves. I think the Niners are going to have fun on Sunday night. Sorry. Deebo Samuel and McCaffrey are just going to carve the Chargers. They're just going to eat the Chargers alive. The Niners are going to absolutely feast. The Niners are going to absolutely dominate in this game. Or maybe this could be a close game for the Chargers, but nonetheless, I'm going to take the 49ers to win this game. Then we have a Monday night matchup where it's the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Washington Foreskins, and I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles in this one. No explanation really needed. This is probably the best team in football right now, and as a Bills fan, I'm not ashamed to say that. They're the only unbeaten team with an amazing defense and a great quarterback in Jalen Hurts, and great pieces in Dallas Goedert, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown. Even Miles Sanders, who I was wrong on at the beginning of the season, has come on and has actually been a solid piece for the Eagles. But yeah, guys, those are my picks for week 10 of the NFL season. And as you can see, a lot of the home teams have won this game, are winning these games. I wouldn't be shocked to see Seattle win. I wouldn't be shocked to see Minnesota win. Despite what I said about the Chargers earlier, honestly, I don't know if I would necessarily be shocked to see them win because they are still a good team. But the Niners are just, in my opinion, a better team. Despite, what the record shows right now. The Niners are 4-4 right now, while the Chargers are 5-3. I don't know if I would be shocked to see the Colts win. I don't think I would be shocked to see the Colts win just because the Raiders have been playing just as bad. But yeah, now we're going to go to my mid-season awards, starting with comeback player going all the way up to MVP. Saquon Barkley and Brian Dable. Saquon's comeback player of the year and Brian Dable is coach of the year. Hands down, they are the biggest pieces as to why the Giants are 6-2 right now. 7-2 now, according to my predictions. But now we are going to see the Giants in the second half of the season. We're going to see them coming off a bye, how they handle it. But yeah, Saquon, he's top 3 in rushing, and Brian Dable, I guess, is just an offensive mastermind. Despite only having Saquon Barkley as his real threat offensively, he's done a great job at coaching the Giants. So Saquon is my comeback player of the year, and Dable is my coach of the year. And then my defensive rookie of the year, hands down, is Sauce Gardner of the New York Jets, who is not playing this week, much like the Jets. Sauce Gardner, especially after his performance against the Bills, has been nothing but fantastic. All right. He's got pick after pick after pick. He's got tackle after tackle. He has been a dominant piece of that Jets defense and has been everything that he was hyped up to be in the draft. Honestly, I'm happy to see the Jets actually doing good, coming from a Bills fan. But the Jets, it's nice that they're actually, doing good. And I like to see them actually doing good because this is the team that's been crapped on for the last few years. So it's nice to see the Jets doing well, and Sauce Gardner is a big part of that. As far as my offensive rookie of the year, I'm throwing it up between Dameon Pierce and Chris Olave. Dameon Pierce has been nothing but a beast for the Houston Texans this season, really the only bright spot because Davis Mills doesn't know how to throw to Brandon Cooks. And for the Saints, Chris Olave, outside of Alvin Kamara, has been the biggest part of why the Saints offense is, somewhat competent. But I think I'm going to give the edge to Dameon Pierce here. He, I believe, is top 10 in his respective category in rushing yards. Olave, I don't believe is, but, nonetheless, Dameon Pierce has been nothing but a dominant force, and I'm going to take him, actually, over Chris Olave. But I was really going back and forth with this one. But I don't think either of these guys would win Rookie of the Year because I think Sauce Gardner will do it. He's been hands down the best player, best corner, best player at his position, best defensive player, and I believe he's probably the best person in his draft class, and he will win Rookie of the Year for all the same reasons that I listed a Defensive Rookie of the Year. Now we go to Defensive Player of the Year, and we're going to go to the Cowboys player Micah Parsons. The guy can go all over the place, sideline to sideline. He can get after the quarterback every single time. And I think he's going to make Aaron Rodgers' life a living nightmare. So Micah Parsons, he's just an absolute dominant force. I'm going to take Micah Parsons. And Offensive Player of the Year, I think undisputably it's going to be Tyreek Hill. At the beginning of the year, I think I was saying Nick Chubb because he was absolutely dominating in rushing yards. And don't get me wrong, he still is. I think he's one of the leading rushers this season. He's top 3 in rushing yards. But Tyreek Hill is miles ahead of the next person, which is Justin Jefferson. And then Stephon Diggs is not that far behind Jay Jettis. Tyreek Hill is about a 200 to 300 yard lead on both Jefferson and Diggs. So, hands down, he has been the most dominant player, and he's got the most receptions of 20-plus yards from what I've seen. Tyreek Hill has been nothing short of fantastic, and I think he will win Offensive Player of the Year. And MVP, I'm still going to go with my preseason pick. Josh Allen winning MVP. Although I think the MVP race has gotten a lot closer between him, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts has gotten himself in there, and Tua Tagovailoa has started to get himself in there as well. But I'm sticking with Josh Allen because, yes, he's been in a slump. Yes, he's thrown quite a few picks. I mean, he's thrown 8 picks in 9 games, which is not great, but I'm sorry, 8 games. My bad. I was including this game, but he hasn't thrown any picks in this game because he hasn't played yet. But no, I think Josh Allen, being the dual threat guy he is, he's gonna bounce back. He's gonna find a way to get through his UCL injury, and he's gonna find a way to lead the Bills to victory. And I believe he will win MVP because he is a humble, talented, and just amazing all-around human being. Josh Allen is going to get through this. He might still struggle because of the injury, but you know what? I'm still going to rock with my boy Josh Allen. Although at the end of the season, I think my pick could change, but for now, I'm sticking with Josh Allen. Alright, and now those are my mid-season awards, plus my Week 10 picks for this season. Let me know what you guys think of these picks in the comments below. And with that being said, if you did enjoy this video, be sure to hit that like button down below, subscribe if you're new, and click that notification bell to get all the latest news on all my latest content. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.